What's up guys, welcome to Clash Royale. Today, I'm going to be doing another video showcasing a deck that I really like and I just started using. So as you can see, I'm about around the trophy range that I was in my previous couple of videos, and that's because I've been dropping and climbing back up multiple times. So hopefully I can start to climb up a bit and just stay up there. So here's the deck. It is extremely strong, and if you take a look in my battle log, I just had a huge victory streak. So that's where the defeats are. So there's so many victories. I won so many times. Now I don't want to go risk playing multiplayer, but as you can see, all those are multiplayer battles, and I just won them. So this is the deck right here. It is super strong, and it is an extremely controlling archetype. So it has the Electro Wizard to stop many pushes such as the Hog Rider, Giant, Golem, etc. And you have the building, the Tombstone. It is amazingly, gives great support on offense and defense. It can hard counter a Hog Rider that is not pig pushed. So also you have the Mega Minion. It's just a typical card in a deck that it's just for dealing damage, and it can also possibly land hits on the tower, but usually it won't. Electro Wizard is really strong defensively, and it can also hit on the tower. The Knight is really strong also, and if someone ignores the Knight, it's gonna deal a ton of damage. Obviously, you have your win condition, the Graveyard, and you have your poison that goes along very well with the Graveyard. For example, if they drop minions or minion horde or goblin gang, etc., you're gonna drop your poison to counter that. Obviously, log, and you have skeletons as a cycle card. So let's jump right into a classic challenge. I don't want to waste gems in a grand challenge right now. All right, so let's get into battle. All right, so we're facing Slam Junk right now, and let's start off with the Knight. So basically, my first move that I like to do is the Knight right there in front of the King Tower. Now he's wasting elixir right now, so that's good for me. So right now, I'm not gonna try to make a push. You never want to try to make a push until after you defend and you make positive elixir trades and you have more elixir than your opponent. That's when you want to push. Until then, you never want to actually try to go in for a push. So right now, as you can see, my Mega Minion is gonna get a couple of shots in. Well, one. And even my Knight got a shot in. Now that was a missed fireball. He should have fireballed that better. But I mean, so he lost some value over there. So right now my Electro Wizard is countering the Baby Dragon, and as you can see, he dropped Elite Barbarians, but it's no problem. My Mega Minion is cleaning up, and it's like super easy. So right now I counter it for less elixir than he used to make the push. So I'm gonna go in with the Graveyard. Now if he drops anything like small units, I would have poison, but he has the Dark Prince, which is not really worth poisoning. So as you can see, alright, so Tombstone right now. So I didn't actually put it in the correct position, so it's not gonna hard counter the Hog Rider, but we counter it using the 1 elixir skeletons. Alright, so I'm just gonna let my Knight go up there, because if he ignores it, it's gonna deal a bunch of damage to the tower. Just one hit dealt almost 200 damage. Just see how amazing that is. And until that princess shot, he hasn't actually touched my tower, I just realized. So I'm gonna go in for another push, because I have a bunch of elixir more than him. So now once he drops that, I can poison it, and that's pretty much tower. So as you can see, even before double elixir, we've already taken the tower. And watch this, the Tombstone hard counters Elite Barbarians. No matter what level it is, it completely hard counters it. Now if they zap it, whoops, wasting elixir there. So I should have pulled it further, but if they actually zap it, you have your 1 elixir skeletons that can deal damage. Now I'm just gonna completely try to stop the Hog Rider, because I have the elixir and I don't really have to make a push. I'm gonna make a push anyway to put some pressure on him. It's not really gonna do much, to be honest. Check out that the Knight took out the Dark Prince on his own. Now we have this pretty big push going his way. As you can see, I have like a surplus of elixir, and like I can literally do anything. Alright, so I don't think this guy was the best opponent I could have faced. He's not fireballing my tower along with the Tombstone. Alright, so thanks and good game. So as you can see, that was a fairly comfortable win. So let's go into another battle and see if we can get a better matched opponent, if you will. Alright, we're facing Ingmaro from Mega Argento. So right now I have the Knight. The Knight is my favorite starting move. I just like to drop it there because it can be turned into a push, and it can also counter cards very well. Now the Tombstone is very good against countering the Furnace, because alright, so this is a pretty good value poison. So I was saying the Tombstone is good at countering the Furnace because each Fire Spirit lands on one single skeleton and just basically kills itself. If you can put it that way. So I'm gonna put my Mega Minion way in the back so it escapes the poison. Now as you can see, I'm pretty much on top. So I dropped 3 elixir, and it took after about 3 seconds he dropped his thing. That means if he was waiting till 10 elixir, that means I have more elixir than him. Alright. So my Electro Wizard is gonna go probably take out the Furnace. That's why the Electro Wizard is just so valuable. So I'm gonna log right here. You know, that was actually probably a wasted log. Probably shouldn't have done that. Now the ironic thing is, this deck is sometimes weak to Graveyard, because even though it's a Graveyard deck, it doesn't really have the best counters to Graveyard, unless of course you want to waste your poison onto the Graveyard, which I mean, like, in some cases you could do it if you're really desperate, but it's not the best situation possible. Now as you can see, we have more elixir than him, and we dropped our Graveyard, and it's absolutely demolishing the tower. Alright, so I'm gonna drop poison just to overkill it a bit. Probably shouldn't have done that, probably wasted it, but it's gonna take out the Mega Minion. Alright, so he pig pushed the Hog, so I can't hard counter it yet. Alright, so I'm just gonna drop my skeletons, and that completely counters the Hog Ladder. Alright, so as you can see, I'm basically sitting really comfortable right now. I have a bunch of elixir, and he's barely done any damage on my towers, and I basically have all the answers to any push that you can throw at us. Alright, so that was a good poison for him. I'm gonna drop my Tombstone all the way up there so that it can escape the poison. Alright, so the Electro Wizards are kind of gonna take out each other now. Alright, so there we go. So as you can see, we've already cycled to another Tombstone. So we dropped that, and he's literally dead. So now all we have to do is kind of wait it out. I'm just gonna, you know, throw poison up there, swag poison. There's not really much he can do at this point. So, I mean, he's just, like, trying his best, but there's not much he can do. Alright, so I'm gonna Graveyard his Furnace, and we're done. Alright. So, instead of going into another battle, I'm actually going to show you a replay that I just had against a level 6 Golem, and I completely counter him. He has the level 3 Electro Wizard and level 12 Elite Barbarians, also a level 9 Hog Rider. So let's watch this and see how it did. So this is on ladder, obviously. It was a pretty recent match. So right now, I have my Tombstone. I don't have my Knight, so I'm just gonna drop my Tombstone. That's a pretty, I kind of like that move as well, because you can defend both sides for the most part, unless they pig push. So right now, I'm gonna drop my Electro Wizard, because once he zaps the tower, the skeletons will get ahead, and then they'll distract the tower. Now, knowing how threatening the push is, he fireballs it. As you can see, I'm leading, like, I'm way ahead in elixir, but he has the golem down. But as you can see, we've already cycled to another Tombstone. Just like, take a look at that. It's just so beautiful watching just another Tombstone come up. So like, as you can see, my Knight and my Mega Minion and Skeleton from the Tombstone is just absolutely demolishing the golem. So right now my Mega Minion's gonna turn around and take out the minions. Now, I mean, like, at this point it's pretty even. I do have 2 extra elixir, so I'm just gonna go ahead and drop my Graveyard. As you can see, he has no counters to it whatsoever. So he drops his Musketeer, and check out that Knight. That Knight is getting on the tower, and it dealt a ton of damage. So I dropped my 1 elixir skeletons just to kind of tank a couple of shots from the Electro Wizard. It does pretty well, except, yeah, So basically hard counters the Electro Wizard. So I drop my Knight again, and as you can see I have 2 cards on the field, and he has 2 more elixir than me, but he needs to spend more elixir to counter that, so that means I'm ahead in elixir. I just throw him a crying face, but I'm not threatened at all. As you can see, I'm already at 10 elixir, and see how little elixir he has. And Golem is already at half health. So I drop my Electro Wizard to kind of do that, and then I log it back so that the damage doesn't actually hit the tower. So once that's down, as you can see, I'm like way ahead. And he fireballs, but he completely misses everything. This is what can happen to you when you're really behind an elixir and you're not paying attention to what's going on. So I can afford a few hits, so I just drop the poison up there because I know he's going to counter with minions. And I take a few hits from the Electro Wizard and counter it with skeletons next. I drop my Tombstone, anticipating either his Golem or his Hog Rider. As you can see, I'm literally overflowing with elixir. I have like way too much to spend. So I drop the Mega Minion, and now I see his Elite Barbarians for the first time, but I'm not threatened at all. I get another Tombstone, and check that out. So that's gonna take out the Elite Barbarians, and then I have an Electro Wizard on the map, and I drop my Knight to counter that, and like just like that, it's just out of there. There's like no Electro Wizard. I do another swag poison on the tower, King Tower, because I know that I've won. And at this point, there's really nothing he can do. So, some quick double thumbs up, and there we go. So, that is the deck. As you can see, it is extremely strong. It cycles really quickly, and basically, you have a bunch of counters, so basically anything that your opponent can throw at you. And obviously, the graveyard is super strong, especially paired with poison. But one major part of this deck is prediction. You have to be able to predict where your opponent is going to place their, say, minion horde or minions or their goblin gang. Because unless you properly predict, you're not going to be able to get anything on the tower. So because poison too late, it's too late to actually stop the minions from taking out your graveyard. So hope you guys really enjoyed this deck and also this video. Make sure you like this video and share it with other people so they can find this great deck. Hope you guys can use this deck actually and get yourselves to 4,000 or even higher up. And I'm gonna be trying to push above and try to get to like say Master League, but in a bit because my cards are still a bit under leveled. So if you did like this video and you'd like to see more of these, please do consider subscribing, and I will see you guys later.